Today's topic is improper integral. Okay. So basically, आज के हम discuss करेंगे what is improper integral, types of improper integral, and convergence of improper integral. Okay. So let's start. Okay. So first, write down the definition of improper integral. Definition: improper integral. The definite integral integration a to b fx dx. This is called an improper integral if a or b or both are infinite, or the function fx is unbounded. Just see, this definite integral integration a to b fx dx, this is called an improper integral if either a is infinite, suppose like this minus infinity to 0, or b is infinite like this 0 to infinity, or both minus infinity to infinity. So either a is infinite or b is infinite or both are infinite, so this is said to be an improper integral. Okay. Or the function fx is unbounded. If the function fx is unbounded, then it is also called an improper integral. Suppose we consider this example. Suppose integration 0 to 3. Okay. 1 by, suppose 1 by x minus 1 into x minus 2 dx. দেখো এখানে a and b that are finite, but this function fx is unbounded. Unbounded means just you consider দেখো এই ফাংশনটা কোন কোন পয়েন্টে ডিসকন্টিনিউয়াস হবে। দেখো x is equal to 1 পুট করো, দেখো 1 by 0 that is undefined, x is equal to দেখো 1 by 0 হয়ে যাচ্ছে, so undefined. So this function fx is unbounded. Clear? So this is an improper integral. Clear? So now we discuss the types of improper integral. So basically improper integral are two types: improper integral of first kind and improper integral of second kind. Okay. So improper integral are basically two types. Okay. One is improper integral of first kind, improper integral of the first kind. and another is improper integral of the second kind. Okay. Improper integral of first kind and improper integral of second kind. Okay. So now we discuss about improper integral of the first kind. So write down the definition. Improper integral of the first kind. Improper integral of the first kind. The definite integral, integration a to b fx dx. So this is called improper integral of first kind if either a or b or both are infinite, but the function fx is bounded. Just you imagine bounded means here fx is bounded means just this function fx is continuous. Because in interval ki integration a to b, that is what is the interval? Interval is ab. A interval fx function ki hobe continuous hobe. ঠিক? So if the function fx is bounded, ठीक, and the upper limit as well as lower limit both are fine, either upper limit or lower limit is finite, or both are, sorry, the upper limit or lower limit are infinite or both are infinite, and the function fx is bounded, then it is said to be improper integral of first kind. Okay, so write down the definition. A definite integral, a definite integral, a definite integral, integration a to b fx dx, in which the range of integration is infinite. That is a is minus infinity or b is infinity or both. Okay. And the integrand fx is bounded. Okay. So then it is called an improper integral of the first kind. Okay. For example, suppose we consider this example. integration 0 to infinity. Upper limit, that is b, is infinite. So 0 to infinity dx divided by 1 plus x square. Okay. So this is improper integral of first kind. What is fx? Here fx is 1 by 1 plus x square. ঠিক দেখো এই যে ফাংশনটা আছে, এই ফাংশনটা x এর যে কোনো ভ্যালুর জন্য ফাংশনটা কিন্তু আনডিফাইন্ড হবে না। x এর ভ্যালু তুমি 1 পুট করো 1/2, x এর ভ্যালু 2 পুট করলেও আনডিফাইন্ড হবে না। সো দিস ফাংশন ইজ বাউন্ডেড। ওকে, আনবাউন্ডেড কখন হবে? যদি সাপোজ দিস এক্সাম্পল, সাপোজ fx is equal to, suppose 1 by 1 minus x যদি হতো, তাহলে x is equal to 1 put করো, তাহলে 1 by 0 undefined হয়ে যাচ্ছে। So this function is unbounded, but this is bounded. Clear? So here fx is bounded, that is integrand. Fx is called integrand. Fx is bounded, and the range of integration is infinite. So this is improper integral of first kind. Okay. Okay. So this is an improper integral of the first kind. I think clear. So now we discuss about improper integral of second kind. Improper integral of the second kind. The definite integral, integration a to b fx dx. So this is called improper integral of second kind. If the range of integration is finite, but the function fx is unbounded. Okay, that is the integrand fx is unbounded, but the range of integration is finite, then it is called improper integral of second kind. For example, suppose you consider this example, suppose integration 0 to 3 dx divided by x minus 1 into x minus 2. So what is integrand here? Fx is 1 divided by x minus 1 into x minus 2. What is the interval? Interval is 0 3. ঠিক দেখো x is equal to যদি 1 পুট করো তাহলে ফাংশনটা আনডিফাইন্ড, x is equal to 2 পুট করো fx is undefined. 1 or 2, a point, these 2 points must be belongs to this interval 0 3. Okay. So we see that this function fx is unbounded in this interval, but the range of integration is finite. So this is improper integral of second kind. Okay. So write down the definition. A definite integral, a definite integral, integration a to b fx dx, in which the range of integration is finite. but the integrand fx is unbounded at one or more points, in the given interval, is called an improper integral of the second kind. What is the interval here for this example? Integration 0 to 3 dx by x minus 1 into x minus 2. What is the interval? Interval is this. This function fx is undefined at x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 2. Okay? And these points belongs to this interval. Okay, so this is an improper integral of second kind. So write down this example. Integration 0 to 3 dx divided by x minus 1 into x minus 2. This is an improper integral. This is an improper integral of second kind. Okay. Here, now we discuss about convergence of improper integral. Okay. Convergence of improper integral. So first point, convergence at the left end. Convergence at the left end. If A is the, write down this, if A is the only point of infinite discontinuity, if A is the only point of infinite discontinuity of the function fx, and the range of integration and the range of integration, that is this interval open interval AB is finite, then if for every epsilon greater than 0, if for every epsilon greater than 0, okay, integration A plus epsilon to B fx dx exist, and if it's also exist finitely, then we say that integration A to B fx dx exists, or converges to A, and its value is given by integration A to B fx dx, so that equal to limit epsilon tends to 0 integration A plus epsilon to B fx dx. Okay, so note down this integration A to B fx dx, so that equal to limit epsilon tends to 0 integration A plus epsilon to B fx dx. Just see, তাহলে আমি কি বলেছি দেখো, convergence at the left end. আমার ইন্টারভেলটা কি, সাপোজ this is the interval, right? A B, this is left and this is right. So convergence at the left end কখন হবে? যদি আমি দেখি যে ইন্টিগ্রেশন limit epsilon tends to 0 A plus epsilon to B fx dx that exist finitely, that means আমার এটা ইন্টিগ্রেশন করিয়ে ফাইনাইট ভ্যালু পাওয়া যায়, তাহলে আমি বলবো কনভার্জেন্ট। আর যদি তুমি ইনফাইনাইট পেয়ে যাও তাহলে হবে ডাইভার্জেন্ট। ঠিক, সো integration A to B fx dx, so this improper integral is said to be convergent at the left end A if limit epsilon tends to 0 A plus epsilon to B fx dx that exist finitely. That means এর এটা ক্যালকুলেশন করব, যদি ফাইনাইট ভ্যালু পেয়ে যাই তাহলে আমি বলবো ইমপ্রপার ইন্টিগ্রাল কনভার্জ, আর যদি প্লাস ইনফিনিটি অর মাইনাস ইনফিনিটি হয় তাহলে বলবো ডাইভার্জ। ওকে, ক্লিয়ার? দ্যাট মিন্স the improper integral integration A to B fx dx that is said to be convergent at A if limit epsilon tends to 0 A plus epsilon to B fx dx that exist finitely. আর যদি exist না করে, that means if the limit does not exist, if this limit does not exist, then we say that integration A to B fx dx that improper integral is not convergent. তাহলে কনভার্জেন্টের কন্ডিশনটা কি হতে হবে? কনভার্জেন্ট কখন হবে? যদি ইন্টিগ্রেশন A plus epsilon to B fx dx এর লিমিটিং ভ্যালু এক্সিস্ট করে, তাহলে আমি বলবো দিস ইজ কনভার্জেন্ট এট A। ঠিক, আর যদি লিমিট এক্সিস্ট না করে তাহলে improper integral কি বলবো? Divergent. Okay, so note down this, if the limit does not exist if this limit does not exist, then we say that integration a to b fx dx does not exist, okay, or does not convergent. Okay, so next, similarly, we discuss about convergence at the right end. Okay, so next point, convergence at the right end. Let's see. This is our interval, right? This is left end and this is right end. Okay, so same ভাবে প্রসিড করব আমরা। তাহলে দেখো লেফট এন্ডের সময় কি ছিল, ইন্টিগ্রেশন a to b fx dx, this is exist if limit epsilon tends to 0, integration a plus epsilon to b fx dx. If limit of this integral exists, then we say that this is convergent, and this is converges to a, and the improper integral integration a to b fx dx convergent. Okay, similarly দেখো আমরা রাইট এন্ডের ক্ষেত্রে আমরা কি কনসিডার করব সেম ভাবে। Okay, so write down this, if that is, now we consider this point b. Okay, if b is the only point, if b is the only point of infinite discontinuity of fx and range of integration and the range of integration ab, so the interval ab is finite, and then for epsilon greater than 0, then for epsilon greater than 0, integration a to b minus epsilon, right end এর সময় কি কনসিডার করি দেখো a to b minus epsilon, b is the right end point, ঠিক। so integration a to b minus epsilon, previous টা কি ছিল integration a plus epsilon to b, কারণ এখানে a is the infinite point of discontinuity, here b is the infinite point of discontinuity, so integration a to b minus epsilon fx dx, if this exists, and if its limit exists finitely, then we say that we say that the improper integral integration a to b fx dx exist, okay, or converges at b, and its value is given by integration a to b fx dx, so that equal to limit epsilon tends to 0 integration a to b minus epsilon fx dx. Okay, ठीक. So just see, so the improper, if the improper integration a to b fx dx, this has infinite discontinuity at the right end at b, ठीक, then we have to calculate integration a to b minus epsilon fx. If this limit of this integral exists, then we say that this improper integral converges to b. Okay, otherwise it is said to be divergent. That means যদি a limiting value infinite plus infinity or minus infinity পেয়ে যায় তাহলে হয়ে যাবে divergent, আর যদি exist finitely, then we say that the improper integral integration a to b fx dx is convergent. Okay, clear? So now we discuss about convergence at both endpoints. First time discuss convergence at the left end, that is A. Next we discuss about convergence at the right end, that is B. Now we discuss about convergence at both ends, that is A as well as B. Okay, so note down this convergence at both endpoints. Okay. If A and B are the only points of infinite discontinuity of fx, then integration a to b fx dx, this is said to be convergent at A and B if for any point C belongs to open interval AB, limit epsilon tends to 0 integration A plus epsilon to C, okay, fx dx, and limit, suppose epsilon dashed to 0 C to B minus epsilon dashed fx dx both exist independently and it is defined by just see integration a to b fx dx. So here we say this function a fx has here a and b are infinite points of discontinuity. Okay, so integration a to b fx dx. So this can be written as limit epsilon tends to 0. First thing, left end চিন্তা করো, ঠিক? So epsilon tends to 0, ঠিক? A plus epsilon, ঠিক? To c fx dx plus limit epsilon dash to 0, ঠিক? C to b minus epsilon dash fx dx. Just see. দেখো আমার ইন্টারভেলটা কি ab, ঠিক? So we consider a point C that belongs to AB. Suppose this is the interval AB. Suppose this is the interval AB and C belongs to this interval. Okay. What is integrand? Here integrand is integration A to B. Just see. So integration A to B. So this can be written as integration A to C plus integration C to B. লিখতে পারি আমরা integration A to B. So this can be written as integration A to C plus integration C to B. এবার যখন আমি দেখো এটা হচ্ছে আমার লেফট এন্ড আর বিটা হচ্ছে আমার রাইট এন্ড। লেফট এন্ড যখন left this function fx, if a is the point of discontinuity, then that is a is the left end. So limit epsilon tends to 0, just a plus epsilon. Here b is the right end points of discontinuity. So we can write, so limit epsilon dash tends to 0, b minus epsilon dash. বোঝা হলো টেকনিকটা বুঝতে পারলে? I repeat, just see. আমরা কি ইন্টারভ্যালটা কি দেওয়া আছে? ইন্টিগ্রেশন ইন্টারভ্যালটা দেওয়া আছে ab, রাইট? ঠিক, আমি একটা পয়েন্ট কনসিডার করছি c, ঠিক? জাস্ট this is the interval a b, ঠিক? This is the point c. So integration a to b, এটা তো আমরা এভাবে লিখতে পারি, this can be written as integration a to c plus integration c to b, লিখতে পারি আমরা, ঠিক? Here a and b are both points of infinite discontinuity, ঠিক? তো যদি আমার এটা লেফট পয়েন্টস অফ ডিসকন্টিনিউটি হয় তাহলে আমরা কি লিখতে পারি? জাস্ট এখানে a plus epsilon অ্যাড করব, ঠিক আছে? লিমিট epsilon tends to 0. b is the right end point of discontinuity, so b minus epsilon dash করছি, just limit epsilon dash tends to 0. Getting my point? Okay, সেটাই আমি এখানে লিখেছি। দেখো integration a to b fx dx, so that is limit epsilon tends to 0, integration a plus epsilon to c fx dx plus limit epsilon dash to 0, integration c to b minus epsilon dash fx dx. If this limit exists as well as this limit exists, then we say that this improper integral is convergent, otherwise it is divergent. That means এর লিমিটিং ভ্যালু গুলি এক্সিস্ট করে finitely exist, then we say that this is convergent. Okay, clear? So now we consider an example. Example 1. Examine the convergence examine the convergence of the integral integration 0 to 2 dx divided by x into 2 minus x. Okay. First of all, this improper integral is second kind. Why? Because the range of integration is finite. Range of integration infinite hoto tahole improper integral of first kind. So this is the improper integral of second kind, because we see that the range of integration is finite. And what is integrand? Here fx. Here fx is 1 divided by x into 2 minus x, right? What is the interval? Interval is 0 to. This is the interval. Okay. So if we put x is equal to 0, fx is undefined, right? Okay. And if we put x is equal to 2, then fx just therefore x is 2 to 1 by 0, that's undefined. Okay. So the function fx is unbounded. So the range of integration is finite, but the function fx, but the integrand fx is undefined. So this is improper integral of second kind. Okay. Okay. So here we see that x is equal to 0. At this point, this function fx is undefined, as well as x is equal to 2. This function is undefined. Undefined means it is this function at x is equal to this function fx is discontinuous. Okay. In left end discontinuous, right end discontinuous. So just consider this is now we have to check convergence at both end points, that is left end as well as right end. Okay. Pick. So answer. Here the integrand, here fx, that is 1 divided by x into 2 minus x. This is infinite at x is equal to 0 and at x is equal to 2 in the interval is. Okay. So now we consider just দেখো আমরা কি করছি a আর b এর মাঝে যে কোনো একটা পয়েন্ট কনসিডার করছি c, ঠিক? তাহলে আমি এখানে দেখো ইন্টারভ্যালটা কি দেওয়া আছে 0 to, রাইট? What is the interval? The interval is 0 to. So আমি একটা পয়েন্ট কনসিডার করছি 1, ঠিক? Just see টেকনিকটাকে দেখো। So integration 0 to 2, ঠিক? So this can be written as integration 0 to 1 plus integration 1 to 2. Integration 0 to 2. So this can be written as integration 0 to 1 plus integration 1 to 2. Okay. So 0 to 2 fx days. So what is fx? Fx is this. So 0 to 2 dx divided by x into 2 minus x. So that can be written as integration 0 to 2 dx divided by x into 2 minus x plus integration 1 to 2 dx divided by x into 2 minus x আমরা লিখতে পারি ঠিক এবার যখন আমি লেফট এন্ড কনসিডার করব ঠিক দ্যাট ইজ উই কনসিডার লিমিট epsilon tending to 0 a plus epsilon. What is a is 0, so 0 plus epsilon, right, to 1 take dx divided by x into 2 minus x. Take here 2 is a point of infinite discontinuity, so 2 is the left end, so limit epsilon dash tends to 0 integration 1 to 2 plus epsilon dx divided by x into 2 minus x. Okay, sorry, 2 minus epsilon, sorry, this will be 2 minus epsilon. Okay, clear? So now we have to integrate this integral as well as this integral. Okay, just see. So limit, so that equal to, so 1 by x into 2 minus x, right? So just see 1 by x into 2 minus x, so this can be written as 1 by x plus 1 by 2 minus x. দেখো তো এলসিএম করো তাহলে দেখো নিউমারেটর 2 পেয়ে যাবে, জাস্ট 1 by 2 দিয়ে মাল্টিপ্লাই করেছি, আমরা করতে পারি এটা। দেখো তুমি এলসিএম করো, এলসিএম করলে তুমি কি হবে x into 2 minus x, so that is 2 minus x plus x minus x cancel, 2 একটা এক্সট্রা চলে আসছে এই কারণে 1 by 2 দিয়ে করে দিয়েছি। So 1 by x into 2 minus x, so this can be written as 1 by 2 into 1 by x plus 1 by 2 minus x. Okay, so limit epsilon tends to 0, so limit epsilon tends to 0, take integration 0 plus epsilon to 1, take 1 by x into 2 minus x, so this can be written as 1 by 2 into 1 by x plus 1 by 2 minus x dx. Take plus limit epsilon dashed to 0 1 to 2 minus epsilon, so similarly 1 by x into 2 minus x, so this can be written as 1 by 2 into 1 by x plus 1 by 2 minus x, okay, into dx. Okay, so দেখো এখানে 1 by 2 আছে, এখানে 1 by 2 আছে, just taking 1 by 2 common. Okay, okay, so common or দরকার নেই, ছেড়ে দাও। So that equal limit epsilon tends to 0 1 by 2, so if we integrate this, so 1 by x dx, so that is log x. Okay, so that is log x. Okay, integration 1 by 2 minus x, so that will be minus log 2 minus x. Okay, what is the limit? Limit is epsilon to 1 plus limit epsilon dashed tends to 0 1 by 2. Now integrate this, so what we get? Log x 1 by 2 minus x integration করলে কি পেয়ে যাবো? minus log 2 minus x. Okay, ঠিক, what is the limit? Limit is 1 to 2 minus epsilon. So I think up to this here. Now put the upper limit as well as lower limit. Okay. Okay. So limit epsilon tends to 0, 1 by 2. Now put the upper limit, that is log 1 minus log 1. Take this upper limit minus lower limit, that is log epsilon minus log 2 minus epsilon. Okay. Take plus limit epsilon dash tends to 0, 1 by 2. Now put the upper limit, that is log 2 minus epsilon minus log, just put the upper limit 2 minus, what is x? X is 2 minus epsilon. So ultimately it will be plus 2 minus 2 cancel out. So ultimately it will be log epsilon. Okay. Minus lower limit. So log 1 minus log 2 minus 1, that is log 1. Log 1, that is 0, right? So what we get? So ultimately you get limit epsilon tends to 0, 1 by 2. Log 1 is 0, log 1 is 0. So ultimately this is 0. So minus log epsilon, take minus log, minus the plus 2 log 2 minus epsilon plus limit epsilon dash tends to 0, 1 by 2. Log 1 0, log 1 0. So we get log 2 minus epsilon minus log epsilon. Sorry, this is epsilon dash. Sorry, please correction it. This epsilon dash. So this is epsilon dash. So this is epsilon dash. So please correction it. This will be epsilon dash. Okay. This is second in second limit 7G integral. Just এটাকে তুমি চেঞ্জ করো epsilon dash. Okay. Please correction. This is epsilon dash. Log 2 minus epsilon dash minus log epsilon dash. Please correction it. Log 2 minus epsilon dash minus log epsilon dash. Okay, I think up to this clear. Now epsilon tends to 0. So if when epsilon tends to 0, log, that is this goes to infinity. Okay. Take here. Just please correction. এটা correction করো কারণ এটা upper limit টা কি দেওয়া আছে 2 minus limit epsilon dash tends to 0, 1 by 2 integration of 1 to 2 minus epsilon dash. Okay, 2 minus epsilon dash. Epsilon dash consider করবি তাই না? So integration of 1 to 2 minus epsilon dash. Okay. So now put limit epsilon tends to 0. What we get? So this will be infinity. দেখো, this is minus log 0. Log 0, that is infinity. So this is minus infinity. Okay. Take. This is minus infinity. Just see. This is minus infinity. যখন log epsilon tends to 0, that is plus log 2 পেয়ে যাবে এখান থেকে। Plus log 2. ঠিক। Okay. এখানে epsilon tends to 0. So that is what we get here. You get log 2. Okay. Epsilon tends to 0. This is tends to infinity. Ultimately, তুমি কি পাচ্ছ? এর লিমিটিং ভ্যালুটা কি হবে? এটা হতে এটা দেখো তুমি পাচ্ছ log 2, সাপোজ দিস ইজ log 2, দিস ইজ log 2, কিন্তু আমরা এটা তো ইনফিনিটি পেয়ে যাচ্ছি, সো মাইনাস ইনফিনিটি log 2 plus log 2 plus log 2 are minus infinity, so ultimately this is minus infinity, so this limit does not exist. Okay, so this improper integral is not convergent. Clear? So ultimately, what is our conclusion? Therefore, the given integral, therefore, hence the given integral, hence the given integral is not convergent. Okay, clear? Just see the hook. This is infinity, minus sign, that is minus infinity. এগুলো যাই থাক না, এটা ফাইনাইট, এটা মনে করো ফাইনাইট log 2, এটাও ফাইনাইট মনে log 2, এটা ইনফিনিটি, তাহলে আলটিমেটলি কি হবে? ইনফিনিটির সঙ্গে যে কোনো নাম্বার অ্যাড বা সাবট্রাকশন সেটা ইনফিনিটি হয়, ঠিক? সো হোয়াট উই গেট মাইনাস ইনফিনিটি। সো মাইনাস ইনফিনিটি আমার লিমিটটা এক্সিস্ট করলো না। আমি কি বলছি, কনভার্জেন্ট কখন হবে? যদি if this exists finitely, okay, so we conclude that the given integral is divergent. Clear? তো আজকে আমি ডিসকাস করেছি what is improper integral, types of improper integral, ঠিক? So basically improper integral are two types, improper integral of first kind and improper integral of second kind, ঠিক? কনভার্জেন্স অফ ইম্প্রপার ইন্টিগ্রাল ডিসকাস করেছি এবং এর একটা প্রবলেম সলভ করে দিয়েছি, ঠিক? সো থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ, বাই।